Welcome to Top 5. All you need to know.
On the top 5 weirdest medical experiments in history. These experiments push the boundaries of medical science and ethics, leaving a lasting impact on the field. Join us as we explore these peculiar investigations that made us question the limits of human curiosity and the pursuit of knowledge. Let's dive in. 1. The Monster Study, conducted in 1939 by Wendell Johnson and Mary Tudor, was a controversial experiment aiming to understand the development of stuttering. It involved 22 orphan children, half with normal speech and half with mild stuttering. Children with stuttering were subjected to negative reinforcement, leading to psychological trauma and lasting speech difficulties. The study lacked informed consent, violated ethical principles, and compromised scientific integrity. The aftermath led to improvements in research ethics, emphasizing informed consent, harm reduction, and unbiased reporting. The Monster Study serves as a cautionary tale, highlighting the importance of responsible and humane scientific exploration. 2. The Aversion Project, conducted in South Africa during the 1970s and 1980s, was a series of unethical experiments aimed at changing homosexuality. Gay soldiers were subjected to aversion therapy methods, like electric shocks, violating their rights and causing lasting harm. Lack of informed consent, ideological biases, and severe trauma inflicted on participants were key ethical violations. The project's exposure led to increased research ethics scrutiny and strengthened safeguards to prioritize participants' well-being. The Aversion Project serves as a stark reminder of the consequences when ethical principles are disregarded in the pursuit of scientific knowledge. 3. Unit 731 was a covert research facility of the Imperial Japanese Army during World War II, engaging in horrific experiments on innocent civilians, vivisections, disease exposure, and other inhumane practices violated ethical principles. Unit 731 was the complete absence of informed consent from the victims. Individuals subjected to these experiments were denied any knowledge of the procedures they were subjected to, and their autonomy was trampled upon. These victims were often captured civilians who had no choice but to endure the unimaginable horrors inflicted upon them. The legacy of Unit 731's atrocities goes beyond the wartime era. The information obtained from these experiments was deliberately kept hidden by the occupying Allied forces in exchange for access to the data. Unit 731's horrors served as a catalyst for the establishment of modern ethical guidelines, such as the Declaration of Helsinki, that emphasized the importance of informed consent, minimizing harm, and ensuring the dignity of research participants. 3. The Tuskegee Syphilis Experiment, conducted by the United States Public Health Service from 1932 to 1972, and targeted poor African American men in rural Alabama who were unknowingly infected with syphilis. Despite the discovery of penicillin, an effective treatment for syphilis, the researchers withheld treatment from the participants. This decision was made to observe the natural progression of the disease and its effects on the human body. Consequently, the participants were denied access to potentially life-saving medical interventions, and many suffered severe health consequences as a result. The men were never informed about the true nature of the study, and they were misled to believe that they were receiving free medical care for bad blood. The majority of participants were men who had limited access to health care and were economically disadvantaged. The long-term consequences of the Tuskegee syphilis experiment were profound. Many of the participants suffered irreversible health complications, including severe organ damage and death, that could have been prevented with timely medical intervention. The revelation of the Tuskegee syphilis experiment led to significant public outrage and played a pivotal role in reshaping research ethics. The experiment's exposure prompted the establishment of stricter ethical guidelines and regulations to prevent such atrocities from occurring in the future. 5. The Stanford Prison Experiment, a psychological study conducted by Phillips and Bardo in 1971, is a controversial and thought-provoking case that delves into the interplay between human behavior, authority, and the ethical implications of psychological research. The experiment simulated a prison environment by randomly assigning participants to play the roles of guards and prisoners. The intention was to investigate how people, when placed in positions of power or submission, would behave in a controlled setting. However, the experiment escalated rapidly, with the guards adopting abusive and dehumanizing behaviors towards the prisoners. This rapid shift in behavior underscored the powerful influence of situational context and authority on human actions. The prisoners experienced extreme emotional trauma, and the guards exhibited sadistic behavior that they later expressed regret about. The implications of the Stanford prison experiment reverberated far beyond its initial scope. The results challenged prevailing notions about individual behavior and the influence of authority, shedding light on the potential for ordinary people to commit atrocities under certain circumstances. This landmark study serves as a reminder that while scientific exploration is crucial, it must always be conducted within the framework of ethical principles to ensure that the dignity and safety of participants are upheld.